Hi, hello, and welcome back to my secret channel. So, in today's video, we are going to learn about the poem called The Second Coming, which was written by William Butler Yeats. So, I am not going to explain the poem by each and every line, I'm not going to explain it. Instead, I'm just going to give you the summary of this poem, what the poem contains. The exact summary of the poem you can get by watching this video. Now, let us know something about this poet William Butler Yeats. The time period of this poet is 13th June 1865 to 28th January 1939. He was an Irish poet, he is a dramatist, and he is a prose writer, and also he is one of the foremost figures of 20th century literature. Now, let us get into the poem, the introduction of this poem. So, it was first printed in the Dial in November 1929. So, coming to the collection of this poem, it was taken from the collection called Michael Roberts and the Dancer. It was first drafted title. The first draft title of this poem is The Second Birth. And this poem was written after World War I and in the beginning of Irish War of Independence. So, if you want to know about the theme of this poem can be violence, prophecy, and meaninglessness. And also, this poem is a free verse. Before entering into the whole summary of this poem, we have to know the main idea of each and every stanza. This poem has 2 stanzas, and now we are going to know about the main idea of first stanza. Immorality is the reason for the war. The poet is telling that immorality, the period which the poet has been living, has no morality, he says, and this immorality is the reason for the war, he says. And also, violence and terror cannot bring people to tradition. So he's admitting that there are so much violence and terror in the era, so that the people cannot live in a proper tradition, he says. And also, he also admits that collapse of traditional social arrangements in Europe. There are so many collapse in the traditional systems, and he is telling that. So these are the main idea in the poem. The main idea of the second stanza is nothing but the second coming. That means they are mentioning about the rebirth of Jesus Christ. Let us now enter into the summary of this poem. So, the poet at first mentioned about the bird falcon, and he is telling that the falcon has been lost its way and it cannot hear the falconer, he says. So, here the falcon refers to the people of Europe, and the falconer refers to the governor, one who governs the country. And he is also telling that people used falcon and hawk to find their prey. So, as people using falcon and hawk, here the governor, the politicians or the governor, he is using the people for their own welfare, he is telling. And also he is talking about the immorality. There is no morality in the period he is telling. And also he mentions about the bad people, they tends to be so much happy than the ordinary people. So the politicians, they are enjoying their power, but they have to take care of the people, but they are not doing so. Like that, the poet is telling. The poet is witnessing that the bad people are very much happy than the ordinary people, than the good people, he is telling. And also he is talking about the lawlessness. There is no law in the country, he is telling, and the people are living as it is they want, and the governor or the politicians or the government is leading whatever the thing they have to do, they are just doing. So nothing is going in progress, nothing is going in a particular process, he is telling. And also, this lawlessness and this immoralityness and the people who were not happy because of the government, this are the reason for the war, he is telling. And this is the first stanza's summary. And for the second stanza, he is talking about the second coming, and the second coming he is mentioning about the rebirth of Jesus Christ. So the poet is telling that the country is very much worried, and so someone have to come and take care of the country, and someone has to come to take care, and he has to change the country from the ill path. Okay, so he's very much confident that the second coming is going to come, and after the second coming, the rebirth of Jesus Christ, everything is going to be come into an order, he's telling. And he's also not pretty much sure about the prophecy. He's not known that whether this prophecy will work out or not, whether this prophecy will come true or not, because the prophecy is being told by before 20th century itself, though. So he's not sure about the prophecy. And he's also talking about the bird sphinx, the creature sphinx. Actually, it has a lion body and the head of a man. He's talking about this sphinx, and the vision of the sphinx, it comes to an end because of darkness. So the darkness, it's just hides the vision of sphinx, he's telling. And also the Christ sleep is compared to an infant child. So infant sleep, how an infant will sleep, the baby will sleep. The baby doesn't even know when it will wake up. So likewise, the Christ is sleeping, and the people will not know when the Christ will come to the world, or the rebirth of Jesus Christ will happen. They doesn't know. And the poet ends the poem with a question, and he is just asking a question, that when everything is going to over, when the brightness will come to the country. It's all in the hands of the second coming. So will it happen or not? I don't know, but something or someone has to come and just put an end to this thing, like that the poet is telling and concluding this poem. I hope you like this poem, and this is the short summary of the poem. If you just keep on witnessing this video again and again, you could understand what they have mentioned about this poem. And all the very best for your exam. You can just watch before going to exam. You can watch this video before going to exam. Thank you.